So if you see, my dear friends, one classification was pending. So two classifications are pending. Let's go ahead to tackle those two classifications. So this was your ninth classification. Now let's go for 10th classification. 10th classification is on the basis of functionality. On the basis of functionality. Now, what is this on the basis of functionality? Here you are dividing cost on the aspects of activities involved in it. Okay, cost is divided on the basis of activities involved in it. Cost is divided on the basis of activities involved in it. Okay. So what are the activities what are involved in our factory? We have production activity, we have administration activity, we have selling and distribution activity. So if you divide the cost on the base of activity involved, we call it as on the base of functionality or functional classification. On the base of functionality, the cost can be divided into two parts. The first one is manufacturing and production cost. First one is manufacturing and production cost. What do you mean by manufacturing or production cost? Manufacturing and production cost means the cost incurred to produce a product is called as manufacturing or production cost. There is no need to write what is manufacturing or production cost because we already know that. The next type of classification of cost is commercial cost. What do you mean by commercial cost? In order to commercialize your product, what all cost you incur is called as commercial cost. Or I can say the cost incurred after manufacturing or production of the product is called as commercial cost. Okay. Now, so what is commercial cost? Cost incurred to commercialize. Commercialize means you are supposed to sell your product, right? How you will sell your product? Here you have a business, that undertaking cost will be incurred, selling cost will be incurred, administration cost will be incurred, distribution cost will be incurred. Okay, these are all called as commercial cost. The cost incurred to commercialize the product. Cost incurred to commercialize the product is called as commercial cost. It includes all costs other than manufacture and production cost. It includes all costs other than manufacturing and production costs. So on the base of commercial cost classification, we can divide the costs into further somewhat like this. Like you can take what are the costs other than manufacturing or production cost? We have administration cost, we have admin cost. Next, we have selling costs, administration costs, selling costs. Next, distribution costs. So, what do you mean by commercial cost? All the cost what is incurred other than manufacturing and production cost is called as commercial cost. This is your 10th basis of classification of cost. Now, at the last, 11th classification of cost, instead of saying he gave it as managerial decision classification. So, this managerial decision classification, I don't understand how the hell this person has divided the cost on the basis of managerial decision. So, instead of telling it as managerial decision costs, I can say it as other classifications. This other classifications in your book is given as managerial decision cost. Okay, so don't think that from where I'm bringing this other cost, it's there in your book, not an issue. Okay, now let us proceed further. As per this other classifications, I can divide the cost as follows. First one, out of pocket cost, also called as explicit cost. A, out of pocket, or also called as explicit cost. What is this out of pocket or explicit? 1 minute. So other classification of cost, in that we have out of pocket cost or explicit cost. What do you mean by this cost? Simple, my dear friends. Any cost which involves a cash outflow, any cost which involves a cash expenditure, it is called as out of pocket costs. Can I say depreciation is out of pocket cost? No, depreciation is not an out of pocket cost. Okay, because does it involve any cash expenditure? No, it does not involve any cash expenditure, so it is not an out of pocket cost. Next, if it involves a cash expenditure, it is called as out of pocket cost. Next, sunk cost. Don't think this sunk cost is something new. We have already studied something called as historical cost, right? That is called as sunk cost. Sunk cost is something which cannot be used for decision making purposes. Say, for example, you want to start a product. So, what you have done, you have appointed few people in order to get the inquiry of that product. So, you have given them a salary of 50,000. They went to the market and they have made a proper research, and they said that the product what you are going to launch in the market is not going to be successful. Means you have already incurred 50,000 on them. Now, can any decision can be taken by the 50,000 what you have incurred? Will you say that no, I have incurred 50,000 on these people, I want to start the product? Bullshit, it will not happen. To start, you will get into losses. That's what those people are saying, right? In some cost is that cost which is already incurred and which cannot be used for decision making purposes. Your mother had gave you pocket money of 100 rupees, and with these 100 rupees, you have purchased a lot of sweets and you ate. Now, next day you want the money. Will you cry saying that, "Yo, if that 100 rupees were there, I would have purchased this course"? No, you cannot cry. Why you cannot cry? Simple, my dear friends. Okay. In that case, what happens? You have already expended it. You already made the expenditure. When you already made the expenditure, then what's the point in thinking about it? Is that there's a girl who left you. There's no point in thinking about her. She left. She'll never come back. Next, point number C, imputed or notional cost. Imputed or notional cost. What do you mean by imputed or notional cost? Imputed or notional cost means these costs are notional in nature. There is no cash outlay here. It doesn't mean that you say depreciation is imputed or notional cost, my dear friends. Depreciation is not imputed or notional cost. Remember that. Okay. If there is no cash outlay in this cost, it is called as imputed or notional cost. Say, for example, interest on own capital. In accounting, you won't charge this, but as I said, you in costing, you charge this notional rent. All these are called as imputed or notional costs. The cost where there is no real cash outflow, it is called as imputed or notional cost. However, be careful, depreciation is not imputed or notional costs. Next, point number D, replacement cost. The cost incurred to replace a machinery in the factory is called as replacement cost, or replace some asset in the factory is called as replacement cost. Generally, this replacement cost will be a current market price. Sir, why did you teach replacement cost? Like the way you have FIFO method, LIFO method, right? The same way in your CMA intern and CMA final, you'll learn a method called as a replacement inventory valuation method. In that, in order to value the inventory, you'll use replacement cost. Okay, so these are the several classifications of costing, my dear friends. Total 11 classifications of costing, and we have seen all the 11 classifications of costing. Next comes the next thing, that is methods of costing and techniques of costing. First, let us discuss regarding techniques of costing. After this, we'll discuss regarding methods of costing. I'll directly cover this from the material. Anybody want to tell anything? Who is that? Who is talking? Nobody are talking, right? Fine, perfect. If we complete this methods of costing and techniques of costing, we'll be done with the syllabus after and units of costing. Where is that folder? Accounts. Business Max. Yeah, here it is. So just spare for next half an hour to 45 minutes. We'll complete that issue. Not an issue, not a thing. techniques of costing, my dear friends. Just try to understand what I am saying. Okay, no need to read everything what is written over there. Okay, because when you go for CMA Inter, these three chapters are the most difficult chapters in CMA Inter. However, these three chapters are most easiest chapters as well as most difficult chapters. If you understand these chapters, you can easily score 45 marks in your examination. And let me tell you, in your CMA final, these three chapters weightage is 55 marks. Marginal costing, standard costing, budgetary control. So don't ask me to explain everything what is there in this. I'll just give you a rough idea what is techniques of costing. Now, techniques of costing means those costing techniques which helps you to cost control and cost reduction. Something which help you to cost control and cost reduction, it is called as techniques of costing. In these techniques of costing, we have three techniques: marginal costing, standard costing, and budgetary control. Okay. If you are making decisions based upon the additional production, if you are making decisions based upon the additional production, we call it as marginal costing. What do you mean by the word marginal, my dear friends? The word marginal means additional.
Additional.
Yes, perfect. The word marginal means additional. If you make any analysis, any cost analysis based upon the additional products to be produced or not. If I produce, what is going to be my cost, what is going to be my profit. I did not produce the product still. I'm just analyzing whether should I produce this additional product or not. If I produce this additional product, what is going to be my cost, what is going to be my profit. So if I take the decisions based upon this marginal production, it is called as marginal costing technique. Bits also you don't have, just try to remember, it's enough. Next, budget and standard. Budget is something which is prepared at the beginning of production. Standard is something which is produced, which is made in a later stages. That is revision of budget in terms of standard. So in this budgetary control and standard control, what you will do? You will compare the actuals with standards and budgets. Okay, you'll compare the actuals with standards and budgets. Say, for example, my dear friends, along with your family, you plan to go to a trip and you estimated in the beginning of the day that the expenditure is going to be somewhere around 5,000 rupees. At the end of the day, you saw that the expenditure came to be 4,000 rupees. My dear friends, you made a less expenditure. It doesn't mean that you will be happy. In that trip, you thought that you will go to a safari, okay? But unfortunately, that safari is not there. Safari is nothing but it's a place where you can see the wild animals. You thought that in your trip you will go to the safari, but unfortunately, the safari is not there. Okay, because safari is not there, your expenditure should be 3,000 only, but you people made an expenditure of 4,000 rupees. Okay, so is it a good situation or bad situation? It's a very bad situation. Okay, so you assumed that the expenditure will be 5,000 rupees. At the end of the day, expenditure is 4,000 rupees. You cannot be happy, my dear friends. You will not say that, yay, I thought 5,000 will be the expenditure. Expenditure came only 4,000. Bullshit, that is. That's a nonsense thing. Because Safari is not there, expenditure must be 3,000 only. But you made expenditure of 4,000. This is how the standard budget and actual will be made. The stand budget here is 5,000 rupees. The standard here is 3,000 rupees. Actual here is 4,000 rupees. So revision of budget in terms of actual is called as standard. So if you make the management responsible on the basis of budgets and standards, you call it as standard costing and budgetary cost. Okay, these are nothing but techniques of costing, my dear friends, which don't expect that you'll ask in the examination. Just it is there, so I've expressed you. However, these are a special chapters. You have 10 to 15 marks weightage for each chapter. And let me tell you, cost accountants in the real world are hired for the standard costing and budgetary techniques only. There's a very big firm in Hyderabad, which name I don't want to take. It's a very, very big firm. It's a very big costing firm where they charge around 25 lakhs to 30 lakhs for a one cost audit. When I worked there, their emphasis was mostly on this standard costing and marginal costing only. Okay. Next, these were the techniques of costing. Next, next comes cost methods. What is this method of costing? Now, you have to, cost methods are nothing but they help the firm to compute the cost of production. Sir, then what is cost sheet? Now, cost sheet and cost methods. Cost methods help you to prepare cost sheet. Ultimate aim of every company will be cost sheet only, my dear friends. But how will you value the items in this cost sheet? It is set by this cost methods. Now, what do you mean by cost methods? Cost methods are those which help the firm to compute the cost of production or services offered by it. On the other hand, costing techniques are those which help the firm present the data in a particular manner so as to facilitate the decision making for cost control and cost reduction. Okay, so cost methods help you to compute the cost. Cost techniques help you to do cost control and cost reduction. Methods of costing. There are total 5 methods of costing. First, job costing. Job costing is something it will be used for a special work. Okay, say for example, you want a special furniture to be designed in your home. You want a special furniture to be designed in your home. In this case, what you'll do, my dear friends, you will go to the person who will go to the carpenter and you will tell him, Carpenter, this is the type of furniture what I am thinking to do. Or you will go to an interior designer and you will give them a special job to perform the work. So such a type of things are called as job costing. A special job is assigned by the person to the manufacturer. It is called as job costing. Here no predetermined production will be made. No predetermined production will be there. Each job will be different from other job. Okay. Now, say for example, printing is there, my dear friends. Printing is there. You went to a shop to get your material printed. Now, will the person will be say, wow, I already printed this material? No, nonsense. Every time a new person comes, a new printed material will be made by him. Okay. Next, in case of interior designer, depending upon the people who want their house to be designed in this format, they'll design it. They won't have any ready-made things with them, right? Next, advertisement. You have started a factory and you have started a business and you want an advertisement for that. You go into advertisement agency. Will that person will say that, hey, I have ready-made advertisements for you? No, it will not happen, right? So every job will be different here. That person might give you an advertisement in this format, one more person might give you advertisement in different format. Every job is different. So what do you mean by job costing? Job costing means a person will go to the manufacturer and a special job will be assigned to him. Okay, and here every job is different and new predetermined production will be made. That is called as job costing. Now let's see the examples for job costing. Now, advertisement, it's a form of job costing. Next, foundries, it's a time of job costing.
Sir, what are foundries?
Yeah, I'll take. Printing is a type of job costing. Just now I explained you why printing is a job costing. Next, I hope you understood what is this interior designing also, why it is a job costing. Because every time a new design must be made, those people will not make ready-made designs because like what we call every house is different, right? Next, foundries is nothing but I can say it's a type of now you see if you go to outside roads you see many metal shops there. Okay, there a special type of manufacturing of metal takes place. Like you want a metal in your house, like stairs are there. For these stairs you want to get the what we call boundaries fixed to those stairs. Okay, in this case what you will do, you will go to the person who can cast the material. You can cast the metal must be casted. How can you cast the metal? By heating it you will cast the metal. The place where this casting happens, it is called as foundry. Okay, like you see in outside roads many places, whenever building construction happens they'll bring metal, but you cannot keep that metal directly in the building, right? You have to cut it accordingly. How can you cut? You cannot use a blade to cut that. You have to use a casting machine to cut that. Okay, so a place where casting happens is called as foundry. And here, every person have their own way of having boundaries to their houses. Like if you see in your house, there might be a gate. Okay, where this gate is prepared? This gate is prepared at foundry only. Okay, means that's nothing but something where metal is involved. There, the foundry is involved. The foundry is nothing but a place where metal casting will be done. It is called as foundry. So these are the next. Even in case of interior decoration, job costing will be used. Advertisement job costing will be used. Foundries job costing will be used. Printing job costing will be used. Next, batch costing. If production is based on continuous basis and if production is made in batches, it is called as batch costing. Now, in case of toy industry, what happens, my dear friends? A set of toys will be prepared at a time, right? You are producing something in a batch. It is called as batch costing. Next, when you go for this Levi's showroom, Peter England, what happens? You have ready-made clothes available with you. In this case, also the clothes will be made in a bulk. Okay, your production goes on. Your prior itself production will be determined and it will be produced. In job costing, what happens? Prior production is not there. In batch costing, prior production is there. In job costing, there is only one job. In batch costing, a lot of jobs are done at a time. And so many goods are produced at a time. It is called as batch costing. You are producing something in batches. It is called as batch costing. Like you can say, toy making uses batch costing. Next, ready-made garments uses batch costing. Okay, these are the examples for batch costing. Whenever there's a continuous production, there you have a batch costing. Next, operating costing. Any costing, operating costing is nothing but in case of service sector, you don't have goods, right? You have services. So there you must apply different procedure to find out the cost. So the cost method applied to find the cost of service sector is called as operating costing. In CMA Inter, again you have a chapter called as operating costing where we will learn how to calculate the cost incurred by service sectors. Okay, so cost incurred by service sector. How will you calculate the cost incurred by service sector? Is learned under operating costing. Whenever there is service sector, you will say that there involves an operation costing. Like you can see, in case of hospital, it's a service sector, right? So their operation costing will be there. Canteen is a service sector, so operating costing will be there. Road transport is a service sector, so operating costing will be there. So wherever there is a service, there we have operating costing. Electricity supply, it is also a service sector. So even there we have operation costing. Whenever college is a service sector, there you have operation costing or operate or service costing. So wherever there is service, there you have operating or service costing. Whenever there is a service, there we have operating or service costing. Next, process costing. Process costing means if you incur something, so if you produce something in a process, we call it as process costing. Say for example, sugar is there. Sugar cannot be produced in a go. First sugarcane is there, sugarcane must be crushed, sugarcane must be heated, then sugarcane chemicals must be added. Means there are set of processes involved to make a sugarcane. So here we call it as process costing. Whenever in any place, any set of processes are involved, whenever in any place, any set of processes are involved, there you use a special type of technique called as process costing. Next, converting crude oil to petroleum. Even in converting crude oil into petroleum, there are many processes involved. So in this case, you will be using process costing. Whenever there is a continuous production process or whenever some processes are involved in producing something, there you use process costing. Like you see in this example, sugar industry, a process is involved. Sugar cane must be crushed, must be heated. Next, steel or cement industry. Whenever if you get any chance, try to go to steel industry or cement industry. There you will see that once I went to cement industry, it is spread across in 3 acres. And in 3 acres, you have only 5 employees working in those 3 acres. 5 employees take care of the entire cement industry over there. Only 5 employees are working in those 3 acres land. So if you see in that, I've seen that there's a very huge machinery involved, and the major purpose of this 5 employees is to just operate the machinery. Everything will be done by machinery itself. Loading, unloading, A to Z, everything will be done by machinery itself in the cement industry. I was shocked by looking at the advancement of technology in the cement industry. Okay, so cement industry, what happens? The goods will be produced in a group of processes. Okay, it is called as process costing. That's the reason here you use process costing. Next, pharmaceuticals. You cannot produce a product in just like that. Now, once I went to a pharmaceutical company for the purpose of audit. There, I thought that they will be producing some medicines, but unfortunately, they were not producing any medicines, my dear friends. There, what they will be doing is that they'll be taking wooden logs and they'll be converting the wooden logs into ashes. That's the only work what they will do. Okay. I said, what you will do with these ashes? These ashes will be later transported to one more industry where these ashes will be mixed with other chemicals in order to make it a tablet. That's nothing but here what's happening. It is being produced in a process. So here we use process costing. Next, soft drinks also we use process costing. Oil refining also we use process costing. Soap industry we use process costing. Next, contract costing. If a job is done beyond 1 year, we call it as contract costing. Now, what happens in this contract costing? Very big contracts will be given for you. In this case, the work cannot be completed in 1 year, right, my dear friends? So, in this case, you use something called as process costing. Sorry, contract costing. Now, say for example, in Hyderabad, metro construction is going on. They have started the metro construction 5 years back. Before doing my CA, they started the metro construction. Even today, metro construction is going on. Okay, that's nothing but what's happening here. In these case, the accounting or costing part will be different. So here we learn a special technique called as contract costing. Okay, so basically it will be used in buildings and constructions. Like you see, house building will be using contract costing. Now, other than this contract costing, other than these five methods, here something is given as multiple costing. What is this multiple costing? Multiple costing means if more than one method is implied, it is called as multiple costing. If more than one method of costing you use, we call it as multiple costing. Now, if you see, my dear friends, in bicycle manufacturing, we imply multiple costing. What multiple costing we imply here? We imply process costing. We even imply batch costing. Because goods are produced in process costing will come. Goods are produced in batches, so batch costing will come. Okay, 1 minute. Next, in the second case, we have single or output costing. What do you mean by single or output costing? Single or output costing means if the cost is calculated per output, if the cost is calculated per output, there we use single or output costing. Like in case of breweries, in case of coal, in case of bricks. Now, say for example, my dear friends, if you go for any, when you can see this. I've seen this when there was a construction of my house going on. When I went to the place where we can purchase a construction material, there the cost is set on per unit basis. He was saying that the brick cost is 4 rupees. Now, when he's saying brick cost is 4 rupees, in that case, can you purchase one brick? No, my dear friends, you cannot purchase one brick. So here what's happening? Cost is determined on unit basis, but it is sold on output basis. Cost is determined on unit basis, but it is sold on output basis. In this case, we use single unit or output costing. So there I seen these people were saying the cost of brick is 5 rupees or 10 rupees, but they are not ready to sell less than 2000 bricks. Okay, there's a minimum order what you must place there. Okay, so this type of costing is called a single or output costing. So these are the methods of costing. Next, cost unit. Compulsory in the examination, you will get one question on cost unit. Now, what is this cost unit? When you want to express something, you must express them in units, right? You are saying I am asking you what is the distance from your home to the college. You will say that the distance from the home to college is somewhere around 10 kilometers. This kilometers is nothing but unit. So everything, even in costing, when you produce anything, you must express them in terms of units. X you purchase, you call it as dozen X, right? You purchase some vegetables, you call it as kg vegetables. Like in the same way, even in case of costing also, whenever you are producing any goods, you must express them in terms of specific units. Now, in case of transportation, you will express them as cost. You will express the cost in this manner: per passenger per kilometer. Okay, so these type of cost units are called as composite cost units. Now, till now you might have seen just kilometer, you might have seen just meter. But if when you compare two or more cost units together to form a mega cost unit, we call it as composite cost units. So in costing, mostly we use composite cost units, my dear friends. Okay, so in transport, I cannot say what is the rate per passenger. The person says per passenger per kilometer. Next, in case of steel, you will express it as per ton. In case of sugar, you will express it as per quintal. In case of textile industry, that is clothing industry, you will express it as per meter. In case of cycle, you will ask it as what is the cost per cycle. In case of hospital, per bed or per patient per day. Next, in case of timber industry, that is per foot, that is in case of furniture manufacturing. Pharmaceutical, per bottle. For bricks, per thousand bricks. For chemicals, per kg, per ton or per quintal. Next, for soft drinks, for a case of 24. You see, whenever you go to purchase any soft drinks, their cases of soft drinks will be there. In that case, you have 24 bottles will be kept in one case. Next, aerated water, that is beer, liter or per barrel. In India, it is expressed as per liter. In foreign, it is expressed as per barrel. Furniture, cost per article. Coal, cost per ton. Confectionery, cost per kg. Confectionery means the eating item. Goods carriers, per passenger per kilometer. Hotel, per room per day. Canteen, per meal. Construction, per contract. Building, per square feet. You can see, if you want to purchase any house, the rate will be expressed as per square feet. Education, so power manufacturing, per kilowatt or per unit. Education, per student per year. Railways, per passenger. Automobile, per item, that is per vehicle, this is the amount. Professionals, chartered accountants, cost accountants, they charge per hour. Call centers, for each call handled they'll get 2 rupees or 3 rupees, like that, commission. Telemarketing, per customer call. Gas, per cubic meter. Just try to revise once cost units, everybody. Okay, because when you come to CMA Inter, there you can, there where you will be solving exclusively sums on these cost units. So there will be no special method to remember over there. Okay, so there automatically people will can easily remember, because they solve hell lot of sums in operating costing. All these things we use there, and we'll try to calculate the cost of all these things. Okay, so there students easily remember, but since it's a foundation level and you haven't done any sums, just try to read it two three times. Since it's an MCQ examination, you need not mug up everything, my dear friends. MCQ will come, you must be able to match those MCQs. It's more than enough. Okay. Next we have cost centers. Cost centers means a center where cost is incurred. A center where cost is incurred, it is called as cost center. Production cost center, service cost center, administration cost center, selling cost center, distribution cost center, all those things. So this is entire thing regarding costing what we have done. Once we'll see the MCQs and we'll close the part, because fill in the blanks there itself answers are given. In fill in the blanks there itself answers are given, so there's no point in even looking them. I have seen all the fill in the blanks. All the fill in the blanks you can do, they're quite easy fill in the blanks. Even the match the followings, also try to solve it once by yourself. All these I've solved in a clear batch. So let's see, it takes very little time, just try to see. The total cost incurred in operation of a business undertaking other than cost of manufacturing. In functional classification, we have discussed there are two types of cost: manufacturing cost and commercial cost. What do
Commercial.
you mean by commercial cost? Cost incurred other than manufacturing is called as commercial cost. So answer is commercial cost. Which of the following is not a relevant cost? Sunk cost is not relevant cost because it is historical cost. It is already involved, so it is not a relevant cost. Next, process cost is very much applicable in which type of industry? Pharmaceutical industry. As I do an example also, that my friend's company example. Next, the main purpose of cost accounting. What is the main purpose of cost accounting? The main purpose of cost accounting is to help in cost accountancy. The cost help is to costing. Costing helps cost accounting. Cost accounting helps in cost accountancy. What is cost accountancy? Helping the management in decision making. Next, opportunity cost is a best example of a relevant cost. It's a relevant cost. We have two types of cost, relevant and irrelevant. Something which are relevant for decision making are relevant cost, something which are irrelevant for decision making are irrelevant cost. You are going to get a job of 50,000 rupees, but your father is telling you to sit in the shop. If you sit in the shop, you will get only 40,000 rupees. In that case, can you argue with your father saying that, Father, if I do the job, I'll get 50,000. If I sit in your office, if you sit in your shop, I'll get only 40,000. Means for that 40,000, I'm having an opportunity cost of 50,000. Next, cost into fixed variable and semi-variable. We call it as functional behavior classification. Sorry, we call it as behavioral classification. On element wise, material labor. On the base of controllability, controllable, non-controllable. On the base of function, manufacturing and commercial cost. Next, which method of costing is used for printing industry? We did not see job costing. Over which of the following cost management is likely to have least control? Management cannot control it. Wages cost, yes, you can remove the employees. Building insurance cost, if you don't want the insurance, you can say get lost to the insurance agent. Machine breakdown cost, yes, you can control it by having a good employees. Advertisement cost, how can you control the advertisement cost? If there is no advertisement, there will not be any sales, your entire company will get closed. So that's the reason you see even the known products like Santur, Rasna, all these people, even if they don't do advertisement, also you people think that we'll purchase. No, we'll forget. Okay, so advertisement is something which cannot be controlled. Variable cost per unit is fixed. Variable cost is fixed per unit. In behavioral analysis, cost is classified into fixed and variable. Prime cost plus factory overhead is factory cost. Quite simple bit. Which of the following items are excluded? All are excluded. The following is included in costing but not for in financial but not cost. Dividend. We have already discussed, we have seen a list of items also where it will be written in costing, sorry, where it will be written in cost financial accounting but not in costing. Like the same way there are some items which are exclusively recorded in costing but not in financial accounting, like notional costs. Okay, notional rent, interest on own capital. These things will be recording in costing, but you won't record it in financial management. Next, advertisements are treated as what? They are treated as selling overheads. I said you there are four types of overheads: production overheads, administration overheads, selling overheads, distribution overheads. Selling overheads means the expenditure incurred to sell the product. Distribution overheads means the expenditure incurred to supply the product from the factory to the customer. Next, which cost system description applies to manufacturing of 20 engraved doors for a new clubhouse? Basically, it must be job costing, my dear friends. But since job costing is not there, I said you the further level of job costing is batch costing. So we'll have batch costing. Actually, ideally, the answers must be job costing. In Inter, you will study this job costing and batch costing together because all the features of job costing are applicable to batch costing. Batch costing is nothing but job costing where the production is made in bulk in a predetermined manner. This is what the definition of batch costing is given in your book, in your CMA Inter. Batch costing is nothing but The job costing, the production is made in bulk in a predetermined manner. Hence, he is using job costing to define the batch costing here. Next, prime cost may be correctly termed as the sum of all the direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. That's nothing but the total cost items which can be directly charged. The guidance and regulations by executive action of a cost of operating an undertaking is said to be cost control. The guidance and regulation, you are regulating the cost. So it is cost control. You are reducing the cost. It is cost reduction. We have already discussed direct expenses is also called as chargeable expenses. Next, indirect material, factory overhead. Which of the following is both a part of prime cost and conversion cost? What do you mean by conversion cost? Conversion cost means cost incurred to convert raw material into finished goods. Cost incurred to convert raw material into finished goods. What are the costs incurred to convert raw material into finished goods? Labor and expenses. So direct labor. Next, statement showing breakup of cost. Nonsense. Cost sheet. The works cost plus administration cost. We're saying what is the sum of works cost and administration cost is cost of production. Director remuneration comes under administration. Cost reduction is a long-term phenomenon. It challenges standards, everything. Interest on own capital is notional cost. So these are all the MCQs, my dear friends, what we have. Now, all the 5 to 6 lectures what I have taken, we have recorded all these 5 to 6 lectures. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'll upload it in YouTube and I'll send you the links in your group. Okay. So if you have missed any of the lecture or if you want any of the concept to be repeated once again, just check into that. Okay. Fine, everybody.